Hi, good afternoon, and happy Independence Day if you're in the United States. My name is Barry Selby. This is Messages from the Masculine number 33. And the topic today is kind of relevant to today being Independence Day, called Embracing. What did I call it? I never remember what I called it. Um, I have forgotten what I called it. Oh, that's crazy. Embracing freedom in a relationship. I think that's what I said. Um, okay, that was a good start. So, happy Independence Day. I did a talk last week that was about being fiercely independent, and that's a different conversation. But I want to about embracing freedom because today is Independence Day, Day of Independence. And yes, I am English, so I'm probably being a traitor to my original country to be talking about this. But hey, this is a relationship-centric conversation, and I'm going to go out and watch fireworks later on today. And sitting out on the deck because it's a beautiful day today, and I want to do one earlier than usual because usually I do around 5 or 6 in the evening. But as I'm going to be out at friends with a barbecue, I figured I'd do it live when it's quiet, although there've been firecrackers going on daytime for the last few days, so they might hear pops and bangs in the background whilst I'm talking. Bear with me. So, embracing freedom in relationship. And the reason why I want to speak to this is twofold, actually in and out. And this is going to go where it's going to go. I'm literally just sort of gathering my thoughts as I start because I was really in the place once again of having a topic come up and go, what am I going to talk about? So let's see what comes out. For many of us single folk, and yes, I'm single at the moment, there's a certain freedom we have. I should say there's a lot of freedom we have because we have nobody else to be accountable to, which can be awesome, yay, or it can be, oh crap, because we don't necessarily have a certain level of standards we hold for ourselves. So, being single has its benefits and its costs. And for those of you who are longing for a relationship, I understand you know the costs, which is like, where's my partner? But I want to make sure you get that attracting a partner isn't the solution, it's additional. And I'm not going to get the whole conversation about codependent, independent type stuff. I did that in the previous one, and I may do it again soon. But if you have questions about that, go look at my last Facebook Live I did last week, which was Are You Independently Fierce? I called it. That one talks about the codependent frame. So, freedom, being single, meaning we do what we want. We don't have to worry about schedules of other people in terms of relationship-centric conversations. We can do what we want. We can stay up late. You know, it's like being away from school, away from home. It's like you do what you want. That's the joy of being independent and the freedom of being independent and being single. But I'm talking about how to have freedom in relationship, which for many of us, let me rephrase that. In my past experience, I found myself having incredible joy and wonderful experience being in a relationship, but also at the same time feeling a certain level of withholding. That I couldn't be free. That to be free would somehow be against my partner. And that's not true. And if you're experiencing this hope may speak to you too. Being in a relationship gives you a freedom that you may not discover until you look at it this way. One thing for men in particular, I suspect, and I don't think it's just me, maybe it is, but I don't think it's just me. When we're single, as men, we tend to be very much on the hunt, perusing the opposite gender, the opposite sex. This is for straight men, of course, if gay, it's a different conversation. But for us as men, when we're single, we tend to be looking around, checking out the scene, checking out the women. It's in our DNA, it's in our bones. Well, it's in mine, maybe it's in yours too. So I definitely had the experience of being very free about that. It's also it's like automatic pilot, but it's also a task we endeavor to be, because we're always on the hunt, we're always searching and seeking. When we're in a relationship, yes, that may come up, but it's no longer a task we must undertake. And I'm saying this from this perspective. In our ancestry and in our genetics, we as men are hunters. I've talked about this before in previous broadcasts. So I sense that when we are single, we're hunting for that partnership not to actually find it necessarily, but we're on the alert for it, let's put it that way. Just to be seeking and checking it out in the world around us. And that's kind of natural. Not that we do anything about it, but it's a function of our task orientation and our goal orientation. We're always on the goal, seeking, searching is part of what we're made up to be. Now some men, and I've been there too, are so detached from that because we're working on other things. For me, it was my purpose, and I speak to this a lot in my work. For men, is we need to find our purpose. But also invested in my purpose. That seeking a relationship, looking at women, was like, yeah, whatever. Not like I was against them, but it was not a priority. But when we're in generally being around our day, we notice women. It's kind of what's on our radar. It's the thing we have. When we're in relationship, when men are in a relationship, as challenging it can be when we're still on autopilot, we don't need to be. So there's a certain level of freedom we have when we can be relaxed with our partner, and in fact enjoying and embracing who she is and how amazing she is, so we don't have a desire, need, or even reflex to look elsewhere. So there's a freedom in that. So there's one thing. Let's speak from the women's side for a second too. Ladies, when you're in a relationship, there's a freedom you have to really be embracing the journey you have. One of the feminine strengths is to really be in the flow and the grace of the journey. We as men are more of the goal orientation, so it's a stair step, things I've said before in a conversation recently, that we are going for the next one, the next one, the next one, the next one. For women, it's more like the flow and of the river, in a sense. So for women, it's embracing and being free in the journey of what's happening with your partner. One thing that is a trap of freedom in a relationship, I've seen in past relationship friends of mine, is we get lazy. Freedom does not mean laziness. They don't go together. And freedom and comfort doesn't necessarily go together either. There's a temptation I've seen, and I've seen it happen in my past relationships as well as other people's relationships. For example, on the appearance, physical appearance thing, is we get comfortable about how we take care of ourselves. We stop efforting. Freedom in a relationship doesn't necessarily mean that you get lazy. I hope that makes sense. Part of your effort, part of your intention in a relationship, part of your freedom in a relationship is to raise the standard for how you live your life, to honor your partner, but really to honor yourself. For some of us, we have gotten into the codependent model where we just think our partner will take care of everything. We get lazy, as I mentioned. And it shows at different levels, and it can be very subtle and very covert. So I want to make sure that this reminder is in here, that our opportunity, that's a better way of putting it, in a relationship is to really step into a place of grace, step into a place of willingness to be free in our best way of being in our partnership, for men and for women, both partners. I talked about this at the which one was it? In a recent broadcast. I've done quite a few. About how being in a relationship is something about you can set goals. Oh, about why men stop. That was the one I did a couple of weeks ago. Why men stop. Big topic. A lot of views on that one. The thing was said is that in a relationship, especially for women who are with a man who is a goal-oriented man, most men are, is setting new goals in the relationship. So getting fit could be one of them. Taking care of yourselves, eating differently can be one of those goals. So there's a freedom to explore, and I'm reversing this way and intentionally to say this, there's a freedom in a way of exploring a new way of being with each other that can be better than you were before. There are things I know when I'm single, I don't do as much as if I am in a relationship. And so there's a freedom, which seems odd to say it this way, there's a freedom in a way to be better than I've been when I'm with a partner. And maybe that's true for you too. I'm just sitting with this because there's a sense of unpacking this, but I'm seeing this to really be succinct. I will talk about this more later on in another broadcast, but because today being Independence Day, July 4th, I wanted to speak to the idea of freedom and independence in a conversation that was about relationship-centric perspective, because it's topical. So, think about it. Let me throw it into your lap about independence, about stepping into a place of how you can be free, whether you're single or in a relationship, so that you are serving yourself when you're single, and you're serving yourself when you're in a relationship, where being freedom is a positive influence in your relationship with your partner. And you can be independent at the same time. Now, independence doesn't mean away from, but anyway, that's another conversation again. Go back and watch my Why Men Stop, one for the goal setting part. Also, look at my previous Facebook Live I did about are you independently fierce, particularly talk for women, I did last week. This again is number 33 in a series, and I'm doing these daily at the moment, and it'll be reposted on YouTube as well as on my website. I'll post some links below if you want to find out more about my work. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back again tomorrow because I'm committing to this daily broadcast right now. So if you are out and about today in the USA, because I know some people watch from other countries, and you're enjoying today's celebration, make sure you enjoy the fireworks from a safe distance and have fun with your friends. And remember that even today, love yourself more today than you did yesterday. Your life will transform. Okay, I'll see you later.